A very good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining us on the Orient TV Breakfast News at 10 with Chinenye Onoha. Barrister Mrs. Chinyere Ibe has been sworn in as the Solicitor General of Imo State and Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Justice. She was sworn in yesterday by the Governor Wole Rocha at the Government House, Owerri. The Governor wishes Mrs. Ibe a successful tenure. This is contained in a press release by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Sam Onwemedo. The Anglican Bishop of Ebu, Right Reverend Geoffrey Okorafor, has advised President Muhammadu Buhari and the National Chairman of the ruling All Progressive Congress Party, Adams Oshimele, to resist the temptation of imposing leadership on the 9th National Assembly. Bishop Okorafor, who gave the advice during a Eucharistic service at Emmanuel Anglican Church, Amuru in Owerri North local government area, pointed out that such action will not augur well for the legislative team. He expressed the belief that the lawmakers would want to maintain their own independence and also advised the president to use this new level of his administration to right his wrongs. The prelate noted with dismay that Nigeria has become a nation where human lives make no meaning, with armed banditry, terrorists and killer headsmen are on rampage. He called on Christians in the country to intensify their prayers for God's intervention. The vicar of St. James Anglican Church, Uzi Owerri, Venerable Echi Nwogu, has challenged Christians to trust in God in every situation they find themselves. Venerable Nwogu, who made the call in the sermon, said there is no situation that God cannot handle, adding that people should not be depressed at the face of difficult situations. He said Christians have access to God through prayers and urged them to hand over every unfavorable situation of their lives to God in prayers. The clergyman warns Christians against running to people he described as religious merchants who will ask them to bring money for fasting and prayers and other materials, adding that such people are fake. Christian mothers have been called to always make themselves available to work for their families and the church. A Baptist clergyman, Reverend Chukwu Kadibia Mark Paul, made the call in his sermon at First Baptist Church, Umuokane, in Ohaja-Bwema local government area on the occasion of their Mother's Day celebration. He said women should be committed to the proper upbringing of their family, the church, and the society at large. Reverend Mark Paul also advised fathers to always assist and support their wives for them to achieve God's purpose in their lives, noting that children should always celebrate their mothers. Callers on Orient FM program Matters Arising have advised people to keep their surroundings clean and desist the gutters and drainages during the rainy season to avoid flooding. They gave their advice while discussing ways to safeguard lives and property during the rainy season. The callers urged the Imo State's Emergency Management Agency to embark on public enlightenment exercise on ways to protect homes and surroundings during this rainy season. They advised people to switch off their electrical appliances and close windows before leaving their homes for work or business in order to ensure safety at all times. The callers also want those who dump waste in the drainage and gutters, as well as those who build on drainage, to stop the unwholesome act to ensure free flow of flood water. They urged the public to embrace precautionary measures, reconstruct dilapidated buildings, and cut down overgrown trees that pose danger to lives and property. The callers also called on drivers to drive with care whenever it rains, while appealing to the state government to set up a committee that would enforce construction of gutters and evacuation of waste in the rural areas. The federal government has unveiled plans to invest in the building of modern prisons across the country. Minister of Interior, retired Lieutenant General Abdulrahman Dambasaho, disclosed this in Abuja. Lieutenant General Dambasaho offers some perspective at the inauguration of some projects at the headquarters of the Nigerian Prison Service (NPS) in the nation's capital. According to him, correctional facilities in the country are in dire need of rehabilitation or outright replacement. Minister of Information and Culture, Mr. Lai Mohammed, has announced that President Muhammadu Buhari's inauguration for a second term on May 29, 2019 will be a low-key affair, as a number of the events slated for the inauguration will now be held during the first observance of June 12 as a National Democracy Day. Briefing State House correspondents in Presidential Villa Abuja, the minister said the decision to have a low-key inauguration for the president was taken at the meeting of the Federal Executive Council. He, however, said that invitations have been sent to all world leaders to attend the ceremonies making the observance of the Democracy Day on June 12. Mr. Mohammed said the details of the events slated for the two ceremonies will be unveiled at a World Press Conference slated for May 20 in Abuja. President Muhammadu Buhari had on 2018 declared June 12 as the new date for the observance of Democracy Day in honor of the late MKO Abiola, the presumed winner of June 12, 1993. China says it will impose tariffs on $60 billion of U.S. goods from 1st June, extending a bilateral trade war. The move comes 3 days after the U.S. more than doubled tariffs on $200 billion of Chinese imports. Earlier, U.S. President Donald Trump denied that U.S. consumers would pay for the higher tariffs on China imports and warned China not to follow suit. But Beijing said it would not swallow any bitter fruits that harmed its interest. China has raised tariffs on more than 5,000 U.S. products, with the new rates ranging from 5% to 25%. Items affected include beef, lamb, and pork products, as well as coffee. 4 commercial ships were targets of a sabotage attack off the United Arab Emirates (UAE) on Sunday. Saudi Arabia confirmed that 2 Saudi oil tankers sustained significant damage. One of the other 2 vessels targeted was Norwegian registered. Iran, which borders the strait, has called for a full investigation. Tensions are high in the region, through which about a fifth of oil that is consumed globally passes. No specific details have been released about the alleged incidents. Now sports. Super Falcons will tomorrow take Mali in the final Group B game of the ongoing West African Football Union Women Cup competition, Abidjan. And Super Eagles technical advisor Gernot Rohr meets Mikel Obi on his possible return to the team ahead of the Nations Cup Championship in Egypt next month. Sports correspondent John Wogu has it that Super Falcons have already qualified for the semi-finals of the WAF Cup competition after humiliating Niger Republic 15-0 in the second group game on Friday to top the group with 6 points and superior goals advantage over Mali. The team had earlier walloped Burkina Faso by 5-1 in the opening match. It will be recalled that Dike scored 3 goals under 19 minutes in the Super Falcons friendly match against UMF Selfos FC of Iceland, despite coming on the second half of the match. She also played for the Falconets, which lost to Germany in the 2014 FIFA Under-20 Women's World in Canada. And that's it on the Orient TV Breakfast News at 10. Thanks so much for watching. Have a lovely day ahead. I am Chinenye Onoha. Good morning.